American Handgunner Insider.
Hey everybody, Tom McHale with American Handgunner Magazine. I'm here today with another episode of Insider. We are going to talk about ammunition, more specifically, ammunition that you can use in your regular rimfire guns to shoot safely with proper precautions in your basement, garage, backyard, whatever happens to be legal in your area. What am I talking about? Aguila Super Colibri ammo. This is rimfire stuff. They tend to change their packaging frequently, or maybe mine's really old, but you might see it in a white box. You might see it in an orange or a blue and gray box. It's all the same stuff. They did used to make a slightly different, two different versions years ago, a regular and a slightly higher powered. But if you see it, pick some up and try it out. It's super fun stuff. The basic idea behind the Super Colibri is that it's a 22 brass case, standard size, but the overall cartridge length is much shorter. That's because it uses a 20 grain tip at the top of it. And guess what? There's nothing inside. And what I mean by that is no powder, like you'd see in a standard 22 long rifle load. It is a primer only load. So what that means is super low velocity, even with the lighter, about half the weight of a normal 20 grain bullet, and the primer only charge. Those two come together to rate this stuff at about 450 feet per second. I've tried to clock it at home, but I'm using a Doppler radar chronograph now, and it kind of struggling a little bit in the below 500 feet per second range. So I don't know what it's coming out of my pistol, but I'm confident it's less than 450. So what does that mean in terms of power and the ability to shoot in more places safely? Let's take a look at some comparison. A standard 177 pellet gun, give or take, is going to have a projectile that weighs 6 grains, more or less, depending on the specific type and load and all that stuff. Out of an air rifle like you'd buy at Walmart or wherever, it's going to go about 1,000 feet per second. So that'll give you about 13 foot-pounds of energy. Now, if you up your air gun caliber to a 22 caliber to kind of match the diameter of this one, you're looking at somewhere around 21 grains of projectile weight, about the same as what you'd find in a Colibri. Again, roughly 1,000 feet per second, give or take 100 or 2, depending on your specific air rifle. So that's going to put you in the neighborhood of about 46 foot-pounds. Now, to compare to those, let's go with a standard 22 long rifle. And I'm going to use these numbers from my pistol because that's what Calibri is designed for, and we're making a comparison. So out of my Smith & Wesson M&P 22 Compact, it shoots a 40 grain 22 LR at about 850 feet per second, as I recall. So, bottom line, maybe 64 foot-pounds of energy. Now, here's the Colibri. With that 20 grainer, let's say it moves at 450 feet per second, the full rated velocity, that gives us 9 foot-pounds. So that's less than a lot of 177 caliber air guns. That's 25% the energy of a 22 caliber air gun, and about 1/6 the energy of a standard 22 long rifle fired from a handgun. So slow stuff and low powered. You can very easily create a target backstop that will stop every round of this. Okay, so let's get into some of the logistics of this. I use this most frequently in my M&P 22 Compact. And what you will find, because the cartridge is so much shorter than a standard 22 long rifle, is that there's a lot of space in the magazine. That combined with the low power means it's probably not going to cycle your gun. It's almost certainly not going to cycle your gun. The 22 Compact has a very light spring set and a very easy racking slide, easy to cycle in general. And this doesn't come close to doing that. So every shot I take, if I load up the magazine, I have to manually rack the slide and fire again. Great trade-off to make to be able to use this in my basement, in my view. So just be aware of that. Couple of other caveats besides the cycling thing is the barrel length. This stuff is designed for handguns because it has so little power. It's often not going to make it out of a rifle barrel. So don't try and use this in your Ruger 1022 or other things. I have had some success with a break action youth 22 gun with a significantly shorter barrel. I do have some success with that. It works, but you know what? Save yourself the aggravation. Stick to handguns. That's what it's for. The last thing I'd comment on, and this isn't a problem, it's more just something to be aware of. It will cause leading in some guns. I don't see that much in the M&P 22 compact, but when I shoot something like a Ruger 1022, which is great for calibris because no semi-automatic action to cycle this thing is required. You're cocking the hammer and rotating the cylinder with every shot. It does leave some leading behind. Just keep an eye out, give it a cleaning when it needs it, and you're good to go. So my personal favorite with the Colibri is the configuration of this 22 compact, short barrel, nice 75% scale handgun. So it's perfect little size. And I put a silencer co Sparrow suppressor on it. If you want to redefine quiet, that's what it is. It will shock you. You will hear the action. You will hear the internal hammer dropping. It's just quiet. So lots and lots of fun for target practice, recreation, maybe a little rodent control around the house. I might have taken advantage of that feature on occasion. So there we have it. Aguila Super Colibri ammo. Pick some up. If your local gun store doesn't have it, you can find it easily enough online. And as I said before, lots of local gun shows seem to have plenty of this stuff floating around. So keep an eye out for those red or newer white boxes, or even the blue and gray ones. It's the same stuff. Just make sure it's legit and you're good to go. So if you want more content from American Handgunner Insider, hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe to this channel, FMG Pubs. We will see you next time.
American Handgunner Insider.